Bethesda has recently revealed the details on the fourth DLC for 2023, Nuka World on Tour, as well as new building features coming soon. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. I'm back for another exciting run of news, this time with details about future content for 76, such as new features coming for the Nuka World on Tour DLC scheduled for this winter, and a lot more things, to be honest. Bethesda has recently unveiled new camp features, such as a free camp mode and possibly more budget, and even shared camps. They have even revealed Season 11's team and teased new items for Nuka World, for the Pitt, and more. I hope you're ready. I surely am. Let's do this. Nuka World on Tour is arriving in winter 2022, and recently during the last Quakecon, Bethesda came forward to reveal more details about the new content. For instance, we now know the DLC will introduce 3 new public events, a new on-set location, a new region world boss, and lots of new Nuka Cola rewards, as to be expected. Listen up.
What more can you tell us about the Nuka World on Tour, John?
Yeah, so Nuka World on Tour. We've been working closely with the great team at Double 11 on this. As you said, it'll feature 3 new public events and an exciting new Nuka setting. Cool. There's going to be a new region boss event that players do not want to miss. Additionally, players will be able to earn a wide range of thematic rewards and items along the way. Just a lot of good stuff. Everybody loves Nuka Cola, so swing on by and get some cool rewards.
Now, that's some spicy revelations right there, but what else do we know regarding Nuka World on Tour for 76? Well, it has been a long while since I talked about this matter, and that's because in the game files there's hardly anything new ever since I talked about it many months ago. Only the new boss received further textures, that's about it. But for the sake of this segment, I think you guys might like a recap of what the game files say. So here we go. First of all, there will be 3 new public events, and one of them is related to the spin the wheel activity and possibly this massive Nuka Cola tent. I suppose that's where the magic of this event will all take place. Basically, players can spin the wheel and let luck decide their fates. There are lots of possible results, as you can see, mostly enemy waves and boss spawns featuring all sorts of species, like deathclaws, fog crawlers, anglers, super mutants, and so many others. Honestly, something feels off here. I suspect some of those might be placeholders for something greater in the future, but overall it feels like some sort of wave defense event where each spin spawns a different wave. There are dozens of files for this event already, and I'm pretty sure it's not complete yet, so it could still change. If you are wondering about the rewards, these entries remain empty for now, but as Bethesda confirmed, they are working with Double 11 for this DLC, so expect lots of new stuff to come. The second event is possibly related to these Nuka World on Tour tickets or even a piñata, but we are not sure yet. The references are missing for the most part, but there's all sorts of scattered files which are not exactly linking to much and don't make a lot of sense. So, as I said already, this system is very incomplete and it's not clear yet about these 3 events. It's not defined. They seem to be linked to some extent. I searched a lot and I could not find much about the second event, which means if it's in the files at all, it's still in a very early phase. Furthermore, there are dozens of loose new assets too, which will certainly give life to the new Nuka Cola location on set, but some of them could be part of the new events too, simultaneous. There's also a new NPC robot called Mr. Nuka. We suspect he will play host for the entire tour, but only time will tell. As for the last public event, it will be the region world boss. If you watch me regularly, you should know about it. It's called the Ultrasite Abomination, which has recently received new textures and details like these little stones rocks on his top. It's now looking much bigger and deadlier than before. According to the game files, this boss will spawn in the Ash Heap region around Lake Reynolds, and new assets will be added to the area, such as this giant Nuka Cola roller coaster. But there's more. Recently, the community manager Volseek confirmed this boss will be a permanent one, just like the Scorchbeast Queen and Earl Williams, which means players will have to nuke the area in order to spawn the respective public event and the boss itself. It's looking promising, I can tell you that much, but that's pretty much everything we know about the DLC. More to come, so stay tuned. Season 10 City of Steel is arriving soon with lots of metal and the Pitt on team items, and now we know what to expect from Season 11, coming this winter as well. According to art director Jonathan Rush, players will be able to put their hands on brand new Nuka-Cola and Nuka World items. In fact, Rush went even further and teased us with some of the upcoming reward names, like the Nuka-Cola Spa, a Nuka-Cola Blitz arcane game, and brand new consumables like Nuka-Cola Candy and Nuka Quantum Candy in the respective dispensers for player camps. How exciting! New candy, I wonder what will it do? There's also a Nuka-Cola Foundation kit and Inspired Gate, among other things. Check it out.
The following season after that is adjoining to the Nuka World on tour content.
Okay.
And so that's a Nuka World themed season. Everything our budding Nuka-Cola aficionados could possibly hope for. A few of the standout items are, let's see, we've got a Nuka Blitz arcade game. We've got a Nuka-Cola Spa. We've got a Nuka-Cola and Nuka Quantum candy dispenser to entice fellow Wastelanders to come and visit. Last but not least, we've got the Rough Patch Planter Foundation Kit with an accompanying Nuka-Cola bottle-inspired gate. So lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there's any Nuka Shine candy for no specific reason.
You'll have to grab the update and find out for yourself. Maybe.
Oh no, they are absolutely, totally not bringing Nuka Shine candy with this DLC. No. That was such a tease that was too obvious, to be honest. Anyway, I already looked up all these names on Xedit and it doesn't seem like any of them are in the game files yet. So these items are either just drafts for the time being, or Bethesda is internally designing stuff, kinda like what they did with the Pit earlier on. So we will have to wait a bit longer until we can see what's really coming. Building in first or third person modes has always brought a series of challenges in 76, and in many circumstances it can become annoying or even frustrating to build since you are camera locked. In other words, you are forced to move all the time in order to build in a certain way. Sometimes you can even die if you are building on cliffs or mountains. Anyway, Bethesda plans to fix this array of problems with a new free building camera mode coming later in 2022. How will this feature work though? Well, according to design director Mark Tucker, players will be able to disable their camera while building, which will give them full mobility and freedom to build to their heart's content. Basically, anything you want to do, you no longer have to move or do much. Just, rotate your camera, which will be full view, I guess, and that's it. Check out the details firsthand.
But more importantly, I'd like to point to something that we have in the works that's coming out later this year that was a direct result from community feedback, and that is our free cam building mode. So a lot of our players have gotten frustrated with, you always have to have your character moving with your camera as you're building your camp. We're going to have a way to toggle that off, so now you can detach the camera from your character and build to your heart's content. So I'm excited about it. I'm hoping that the players will be too, because they've been asking for this for a long time. Internally, just already in playtests, it's super cool. So I'm really looking forward to getting that out later this year.
Alright, next new feature Bethesda unveiled at Quakecon 2022 is about shared camps and possibly increased camp budget. According to design director Mark Tucker, the team has been exploring ways to expand the item game.
But in addition to that, we have a lot of other features that we're working on. We're exploring ways to expand the item game.
What does Tucker mean with that though? In my view, it could simply mean they want to focus more on new item releases, or they want to allow players to build more over time, aka increasing the existing budget. The latest obviously makes the most sense. But heyo, you never know. His statement here is not clear. It's obviously meant to make us wonder and hope for the best. The second feature announced was about shared camps. Yes, you heard me right. It seems like in 2023, players will be able to share a build with their friends. Maybe in custom worlds, maybe in adventure, but again, no details were provided. Instead, Tucker said he doesn't want to make too many promises as this feature is currently in a very early stage of development. Check out what he said.
We're exploring more interesting ways for players to interact and engage with camp building and possibly sharing camps. So we have a lot of ideas, and I'm looking forward to giving a lot more detail on that. Probably realistically early next year is when we'll start to divulge more information there. But we've got a lot of really cool stuff in early pre-production right now that I really would like to tell you more, but it's a little too early. I don't want to make too many promises.
Well, it seems like 2023 will start off with some exciting features for builders. Sharing camps has been a dream for many ever since the release days, and apparently that dream will finally come true with the DLCs planned for next year. The following point shouldn't be a surprise if you often read Bethesda's official Discord channels, because developer Steve has said many times that Expeditions is a system meant for expansion. The Pit is basically the start of many journeys. It's a structure for something bigger. But more confirmation doesn't necessarily hurt, right?
So yeah, as Steve mentioned earlier, the structure that we've created with Expeditions allows us to more easily add on and expand to an existing location. So we are in the early stages of planning some additional content that we're going to add to the Pit. And then obviously beyond that, we've got other expeditions that we're planning as well.
According to Mark Tucker, 2023 will bring even more content for the Pit, but that's not all. Bethesda plans to add even more places to explore outside of Appalachia through their new story mission system, aka Expeditions. Now, if you are wondering why is this system great for expansion, lead design Steve explained it very well by talking about their latest tech called Quest Module System, which allows the game to easily randomize objectives and keep the missions more engaging and dynamic. Listen up.
Yeah, I mentioned that a big part of this is that they're randomized, and so we developed this new technology that we call our Quest Module System. So it allows us to take gameplay, components like, hey, we balance it out, we play test something, this feels good, but then we also allow quest designers to be able to retheme and recontextualize it very easily. So this allows us to put a ton of objectives in, and then you randomly pick them. And there's like 9 objectives in each mission, and then it randomly chooses 3 each time in different orders. So each time will be slightly different, and the quest module system enables that. So over time, we want to add more modules and continue to use that to help push things along for Expeditions.
So far, so good. It's clear that Bethesda plans to add even more expeditions for 2023, but what else can we expect content-wise? Well, according to design director Mark Tucker, Bethesda has big plans for 76, and there's a little bit of everything on the way, including new events, new missions, more daily ops, and all sorts of gameplay features.
So, obviously, we're excited about Expeditions. We like building them. We are planning to do more of that, but that's not everything we're doing. We have more quests, more public events, more daily ops content, and features, and just game features beyond that. So it's we have a lot of big plans, a lot of cool stuff heading into the next year. I really look forward to sharing more details on it. But we are not just building expeditions. We have quests and lots of the traditional content that players expect to see in a Fallout game.
Now, I know what you are probably thinking. Could this statement be any more vague, generic, and broad? Well, probably not, but it's part of their new posture ever since Microsoft acquired ZeniMax and Bethesda. So they just don't want to overpromise and underachieve anymore, thus disappointing players in the process. So they tend to give out such generic statements now, where everything and anything could fit in, sort of speaking. But at least we know they are working on full-length DLCs for at least another year. So that's good in my book. Something else that caught my attention was about more building kits. Bethesda seems to be really invested to deliver more and better tools to the building community, and art director Jonathan Rush teased players by saying there's lots of new building kits coming, possibly for both the Atomic Shop and season rewards. Who knows, maybe even as free rewards from new events and expeditions in the future. It's not clear, but one thing is for sure, building kits are coming en masse.
Well, we've got a lot of Pitt-inspired content with the Pitt camp kit. We've got additional camp kits I can't really go into, but I will say that we love our builders and we recognize that a lot of our players are avid builders, and so we're always looking for new offerings to entice them or to give them options for building out their own unique spaces.
Now let's end this news with some more exciting news about the Pit and some of the related new content, starting with a few confirmed items during Quakecon 2023. Before we get to the given statement, let me mention my Season 10 preview video, where I showcase most of the City of Steel rewards, so if you are curious about what's coming, you know what to do. Now, according to art director Jonathan Rush, players can expect lots of the Pit rewards, such as a dedicated camp kit for the Pit, which sadly is part of the upcoming Deluxe paid bundle. I also made the full preview of the rewards in this other video, feel free to check it out. Rush also announced the Pittsburgh Palace Prefab, a Season 10 reward, which looks like this. It's huge and quite interesting, to say the least. It's like a stack of containers and open train cars, with plenty of space to build. Lastly, Rush announced the Skull Lord Power Armor paint, another highlight coming, but this one seems to be Atomic Shop. It's a one-of-a-kind paint for sure though, it looks beautiful in its own way. Anyhow, here's the official statement, so there's no doubts left.
Yeah, so we've got some exciting season's content coming up. Season coming out with the Pit is going to be, of course, Pit themed. We'll have a lot of awesome thematic season rewards coming out with that update. Cool. Such as, let's see, we have a Pit themed camp kit for new builds. So builders will be able to build out their own Pit themed structures. We've got the Pittsburgh Palace Prefab. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out what that is, but it's just as cool as it sounds. Okay. And we've got the Skull Lord Power Armor to scare off all those pesky trogs as you're questing through the fallen streets of Pittsburgh with your friends.
Something else Bethesda has teased is about their largest shelter to date. It's called the Pitt Neighborhood Square, and it's literally a piece of the new map, as you can see in these data mined images.
Our builders will be able to carve out their own corner of the Pit in an expansive Pit cityscape shelter, which to date is our largest shelter that we've offered yet.
Now, even though the shelter door looks very ordinary, what's inside is far from it. It's massive, dark, and atmospheric, resembling the Pit in every single way. It looks awesome though, at least I think so. However, as I mentioned in another video, I just hope the budget for this shelter will be proportional to its size, or things will get tricky with so much space to fill up. Either way, don't expect this shelter to be cheap. Usually they are not, and as the largest one to date, I don't think the price will be any cheaper. Other than that, I think many of you will enjoy this small piece of the Pit. The last revelation is about the entire Pit regions and how the map was created visually. 76 art director Jonathan Rush revealed that the team wanted to pay tribute to the original map from Fallout 3. As such, they decided to go for a very dark, dry, gloomy, and dangerous environment featuring mostly steel, stone, and fire assets. Let's not forget about all the metal stuff too. And all of this is basically a TLDR of the visuals of the Pit, of what's coming in a few weeks. Here's the moment of the true confession.
Well, I mean, so we definitely wanted to pay homage to the original Pit content. The recipe for that, to me, really seemed like, it's made out of steel, stone, and fire. Just a very dry, dangerous place. So, for instance, like the trench, where players sort of delve into some of the uglier parts of the Pit, sort of thinking of that as like a big nasty scab where there's trogs and fanatic raiders sort of trying to survive down in there. Working with the designers heavily on shaping out these spaces, been a lot of fun throughout the whole process.
Alright, Alright, that's everything I have for now, and today's random bug is a brand new one directly from the Expeditions DLC. Apparently, during these new missions, your camera can bug out, and part of the map might show up like this, covered in a black sea. Going under or above the border will restore full vision, but if you're not able to do that, things get messy. It's hard to play, not going to lie. That's such a strange bug. I had never seen anything alike before. But there are great news here. It seems like a fix is already in place, according to developer Steve. So let's hope this one won't carry on to the official servers in a few weeks when the Expeditions gets released. Well then, thanks for watching. I hope I could keep you up to date with everything Fallout 76. My name is Marta Branco. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and all of that to help the channel out. If you would like to support me even further, consider becoming a member or patron. A huge shout out to all of you who already are. And remember, quality takes time and effort. Well, that's it for now. Until next time, take care. Adeus. Bye bye.